Will Cave, and I'm saying that correctly, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good.
Thank you for having me, Wesley. I'm really glad to be here today.
Cool. Thank you so much for being here. As always, probably from listening to the show as well, this is a show about food. And it's what I try to bring to the community. New places that are in the area, restaurants, food trucks. And so that right there gives you an idea of what we're actually going to be discussing today. And Will has a great part in that. And I'll let you start off. So Will, tell us a little bit about yourself and, what do you do and so forth?
Okay. Well, my name's Will Cave, as Wesley said. I own Grillworks Truck with my wife, Amy. It is a newer food truck. We will be opening in the spring this year. A friend of mine, who's also a fellow food truck owner, Stephen Trojan of Gastro Truck.
Okay.
He told me that it can take 5 years for a food truck to get open. And that was, about 2012. So I would say 2017. This is the year of Grillworks Truck.
Cool. Cool.
So, I have a background in culinary arts.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to Hennepin Tech. So I worked in the food industry for about 15, 20 years. Took a break. And I'm with the food truck explosion, if you will.
Okay.
That's helped me to get back into it.
That's awesome. I know. I was telling him that I kind of tried to do my own research too. So I not dug into your background, but I wanted to do when you talked about Grillworks food truck and so forth. I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go check and see see what he's about and whatnot. And you do have an extensive background in cooking and being in, I think on your website you even said in the front and the back of the house.
Yes, I've worked both front and back of the house. It's an experience you need to really have if you're going to have a food truck, because you don't know what role you're going to play day to day.
Of course.
You've got your employees that might work the kitchen, and you've got your employees who might work the front, and you've got to wear all the hats.
Understood. So it says that you're a 15-year food veteran in the food industry. What's actually started you, your interest, your love for it and so forth in the food industry?
I would have to say one of the biggest things was that I loved and always have loved art.
Okay.
And food is like an art.
Thank you. I'm glad that he's saying it. So good. I'm sorry, interrupting.
No,
Go ahead.
It is, and I learned so much about that in culinary arts school, and then having the background going into different places to work, working at the DoubleTree in St. Louis Park.
Cool.
Working with Chef Sue Greenwood down here in St. Paul. And a number of other smaller restaurants. I worked for Joe DeLisi in Brooklyn Park. That was a great place too.
Awesome. Being that you worked, as you mentioned, in the front and the back of the house, what made you move into, okay, I want to do something like this on my own, or to be just as creative, at a brick and mortar, but something mobile?
Mm-hmm. A brick and mortar, it's costly. That's the truth.
Understood.
A food truck is a great way to get into your own business and not have a huge investment to begin with.
Okay.
And if it takes off, then you can graduate that way. I've always wanted to own my own place.
Okay.
But I would say maybe 10 years ago, I thought, can I do this? Can I retire at this? Can I ever even get this happening? And that was before the food truck really had taken off. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I had taken a step back. And when the food truck started coming out, I thought, well, I've got this experience. And I've continued working in customer service since then. So it's an easy transition for me.
Oh, that's cool. When it comes down to like here we are in the winter season. What actually happens with food trucks, at this part or in this season? I mean, I know still some are still operating or whatnot, but others take a break. Is that?
Some of them take a break. They do research and they'll go abroad.
Okay.
Learn more cuisines that they'll incorporate into their truck when they come back. Some continue to operate, and they'll do events, or they will have a routine, if you will. They'll make deals with different businesses, and we'll be here this day, and then we'll come back another day, and they'll have a rotation.
Okay.
So that they can continue to operate and have a good financials backing while they in the winter.
Oh, good information. Coming up with Grillworks, tell us about how you came up with the name and the type of menu or foods that you actually offer for your food truck.
So Grillworks is, to me, diner style street food.
Okay.
So the tagline is where the diner meets the street.
Nice.
I love holes in the wall and little places like that because they have great food, and it's not presumptuous, if you will.
Exactly.
So that's what I wanted when I wanted to open my own place.
Nice.
And I don't know if you probably had a chance to look at the menu on the website.
I have.
So you can
burgers. We're going to talk about that in a second. At least the burger part.
Sure.
You can definitely talk about the others, please.
But you got an idea of kind of what the naming convention I wanted to go for.
Yes, exactly.
So.
They were, he goes right into a good segment area, if you would, and because I looked at it, and we won't go over the entire. Definitely feel free to talk about other items on the menu. But the first thing, of course, I'm thinking of Grillworks, burgers, maybe fries, some other type of sandwiches and so forth. So I was looking at the burgers, and I love the names. I really do. Outlaw. Yes. It's a burger with pepper jack, cheese, grilled chilies, or green chilies, fried onions, bacon, eggs. A fresh baked toasted bun with rosemary fries. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's the Outlaw.
Yes.
And then I like Where's the Beef?
Yeah.
So tell us about Where's the Beef?
So I wanted to have something that was vegetarian.
Yeah.
And that just I had the throwback back to Wendy's when I was a kid, and we had the old lady opening up the bun, and there's this little tiny patty.
Exactly.
Well, Where's the Beef? We're still gonna have a nice size meal, but we're gonna have vegetarian style on this.
That's cool. What are some of the ingredients in that Where's the Beef?
Well, on that one, the burger itself, we're still working on.
Okay.
There's a couple different patties I've tried and made. I'm not sure which one I like the best.
Okay.
So, and we might partner with someone else too.
Cool.
I've talked to the herbaceous butcher in Minneapolis.
Nice.
So we may talk to them and see if they can come up with something for us as well.
That's cool. That's really cool. Well, I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to it. Where exactly would we find your food truck?
Well, we're going to be in St. Paul, of course.
Oh, thank you.
St. Paul does the state of Minnesota does the licensing for St. Paul and the state.
Okay.
Minneapolis has their own licensing process.
I see.
So it's a little easier with St. Paul. And nothing against Minneapolis, but that's unfortunately the truth. It's a little less costly as well.
Understood.
So.
Well, I'm really glad for that. That you're coming over into St. Paul, because that's where we are, and we want to have the opportunity to have a food truck or enjoy food trucks such as yours in the local area. Do you have any like upcoming events, or did you? I know that you recently had an upcoming event. Oh, no, that's wrong. You recently had an event. Or is there something upcoming?
Yes, we've got something upcoming.
Okay.
I've been working with Mai Vang, who is St. Paul's own egg roll queen.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And that's in June 10th. We're going to be at the Life and Diversity event in Mounds Park.
Okay. For some reason or another, I guess I got that confused and thought that it was an event that was already had. So, no, I'm glad that it hasn't come yet. So good. Awesome.
So, Yeah, so it's going to be that we want to have 3 vendors. Right now, it's the 2 of us are there. She's going to be serving fried rice, and her egg rolls, of course.
Yes.
And I believe her 3rd dish she wants to have is la chow. It's one she's been developing. Very tasty.
It's so good. It's so good.
So
that's cool. What can you tell us a little bit about the Life and Diversity? What's like behind it, or they contacted you and
they contacted me.
Okay.
And she wanted to. It's something she wants to give back to the community, and that's really a big thing with Mai too.
Okay.
She loves to be behind the community.
Understood.
So I know that I believe she's helping organize the event.
Okay.
And there's some shows and other things that'll be part of it, so it's not just a couple of food trucks getting together.
Understood. And I'm sorry I put you under the gun like that. Okay. Whatever. I think the actual event almost speaks for itself. Life and Diversity Community, because I mean we live in St. Paul and we have such a wide variety of ethnicities and culture and so forth in the area. And like you said, she is one that is very welcoming and wants to bring the community together. And
absolutely.
By gosh, if you have not had any of her egg rolls, you need to.
Yeah,
you really need to.
Definitely.
I think weeks ago, she had an event where she was doing the food tastings and everything like that.
I did that as well.
Yeah, did you get a chance to go?
Yes, I did.
See, exactly. That wasn't. I mean, it was an amazing event.
Yeah,
it was homey in her home, and they have a large enough home or whatever to invite people to come in. And I tell you, the fact that she invited like 10 people at different times of the day and everything at each sitting, and had food to feed everyone and extra, I was like, oh my gosh, this is an amazing person.
It was a wonderful thing.
It really was. And, that El Chow, for me, I don't know about you, I liked all of them.
Yes.
El Chow, though, stood out more than anything. And I was so glad when she went in and said that was going to be the one that she was going to work with. So that's just perfect. Anything else that you'd like to? I am gonna put you under the gun though.
Okay.
Is there a food truck that you kind of like? I mean, aside from your own,
well,
yes, of course, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
But is there or some food trucks that you find that I gotta go visit? Not so much to see what the competition is like, but just to enjoy the food.
There is that.
Okay.
And especially at the beginning when I was. I had to scope out everyone to kind of see what they were like.
Understood.
But while I did that, I did find there was a number of trucks I want to go back to.
Of course.
One of my favorites is the Mid-Norn truck.
Okay.
Phil Gaffney owns that one.
Nice.
With his wife, Megan, and they do empanadas.
Yes.
One of my favorites. My daughter loves the Mac Attack.
Oh, man.
With a little bit of their homemade hot sauce. Good stuff.
Yeah, those empanadas are amazing. I have to ask, were you at the Maplewood Mall?
I wanted to. I didn't get a chance to go. How was it?
It was very good. It was there was a lot of food trucks. I thought there was going to be a certain number. I think it may have been maybe about 10 less.
Okay.
But it still wasn't bad. I think the only experience that people really talked about is that the lines were long.
Okay.
And I think that's understandable with any food truck or food truck event, I should say.
It is. It also depends on how well the truck and the organizers have the line set up.
Exactly.
And I've got some plans for that too to kind of help with because going to some of the other events, I've got some ideas on how to organize that self a little better for our truck.
Right.
And I know that I'm a part of the Minnesota Food Truck Association.
Cool.
And I know we've got a couple events coming up again this year, like the Uptown Food Truck Festival and a couple other ones like that. They're working on when those will be and where they'll be this year.
Cool. On that note, I mean, have you found that being at those food trucks that I want to say, I kind of want to just ask about how do you deal with the long lines and so forth? I mean,
I think there's two ways to look at it, and one of them is making sure that you've got a good organized line.
Okay.
So people aren't confused. Where does it am I in the line for this truck or am I in the line for that truck?
Okay.
And so that's one part. The other part is when you're at a food truck festival, you need to plan your menu accordingly, and you may need to do things a little differently than you would on the street.
Understood.
So because you want to make sure the people get through much quicker. I know they've got when they're on the street, they're there for lunch, and people sometimes do have a limited time, and I understand that as well. But you really have to have a menu that's designed to get them through quickly at a festival, so that they're not waiting in line and they feel like they have a poor experience.
Understood. And you're bringing a whole lot of insight for myself. That I went to the Maplewood Mall, and I don't feel that I had a bad experience at all, because I enjoyed the food trucks. I enjoyed actually the atmosphere and everything, and just being out there. But I was just, seeing that there seemed to be others that were like, well, we've been waiting here long or whatever. And, and that's understandable. I've been to some other events. I've gone to like the Beer Dabbler or something.
Okay.
And, they've had food trucks. And I guess I didn't really know about the food trucks at that particular time.
Sure.
I think was kind of new, that the very first time that I attended. And I was kind of surprised. I was like, wow. The line is long,
Yes.
but I'm not here for that right now.
Exactly.
So, but that's way cool. Again, you're bringing out information for not only vendors or food truck operators such as yourself, but also people that attend these events as well. Too, knowledge for them to know. It's like, look, I'm quite sure that the vendor, the food truck operator, is not meaning to purposely have you standing in line.
No, absolutely not.
But they're working as fast as they can, but they want you to have a good food experience.
Yes, and they want to give you a good quality product.
Exactly. So, I mean, that's what I think anybody actually asks for, if anything. So, I appreciate the fact that your food truck, you said that it's unpretentious. As you know, my tagline, my name, the Un-Bougie foodie, and there's a reason for that. I want, like yourself, I like going into, as you say, hole in the walls, or very unique places that they give good service, good food, have great character.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
all of that. So I look forward to having some of your food from your food truck. Are there other items on the food truck aside from burgers that you're thinking about doing that you are willing to talk about? Or
I mean, the one thing I didn't get a chance to mention to you about the burgers, we're going to be grinding the meat ourselves, and I don't know if you've had, and maybe the places you've been, they have not made it, expressly known that that's something they do.
Okay.
But when you have a fresh ground burger,
tastes differently.
It does. Salt and pepper, and you're golden.
Okay.
You don't need anything fancy.
Nice.
But then you can let the meat speak for itself. I've been working on a chicken and waffle sandwich.
Uh-oh.
That's something I want to have on there. And then I don't think did you see the Little Fidels?
I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't print everything.
So the Little Fidels are like a slider version of Cuban sandwiches.
Okay.
So that's something we want to do too.
Nice.
I know the menu on the website is pretty extensive for a food truck to be open on a daily basis, because you would want to kind of limit yourself to maybe 6 or fewer items.
Okay.
Because it'd be too much.
Understood.
So.
Well, that's cool. So like I said, I'm looking forward to it, and I think we connected in some way, I think either on Facebook or something like that, and it was just kind of, hey, you saw I had an opportunity, to be on the show, and I thank him for being here. believe me. So thank you so much again for all that information, and definitely, St. Paul is going to be looking out for Grill Works food truck and all the food that you're going to be offering, and
I'm looking forward to being there.
I'm going to be hungry. Will is going to stay with us for the rest of the hour. So if you have any questions and would like to ask a question, if you would,
Sure.
of Will or myself, please feel free to contact us here at the Un-Bougie Foodie at WEQY at 651-200-3479. We'll do our best to take your calls. I am excited if you do call. If not, always know that you could visit my Facebook page at the Un-Bougie Foodie. Or leave a message there. Feel free to send me an email at theunbougiefoodie@gmail.com. That's the other thing. I didn't ask you. Is there, if there's maybe a way that anyone is interested in maybe hiring you or doing contract, please feel free. I'm sorry. I'm just going on and on about my own stuff.
Well, Grillworks has a website. It's grillworkstruck.com.
Cool.
You can fire us off an email there. Otherwise, you can also reach us through Twitter or Facebook.
Awesome.
I think our Facebook is Grillworks Truck again.
Cool.
So.
Thank you so much. And we're going to be talking a little bit more further about food trucks since have our guest here that is a food truck man himself. I was on City Pages, and maybe these are ones that anyone out in the world else might be interested in. There was a topic on, check out the 5 new under the radar food trucks that are up and coming.
My wife and I were talking about
oh
that
my
last
goodness! See, like I said, I try to do my homework and do the research necessary for, and being prepared for my show. So, interestingly enough, food truck guy, food truck articles.
Well, if it hadn't been for Amy, I may not have known about this one. So
oh my goodness!
She brought it to my attention.
Cool. What did you guys talk about? Let me hear your viewpoints on it.
So, these are obviously new trucks.
Exactly.
Some of them sound like they've been doing some pop-ups over the winter.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to do that too. There's a couple places I'm going to talk to about doing that, and if I get that going, I'll let you know about it.
Oh man, that would be awesome.
But some of these sound like they're going to be kind of interesting.
Yeah, I mean, some of the names and the descriptions and some of these places, I was just like, okay, well, when y'all coming? When are you coming? Because some of us are kind of, I know we're in the winter time right now, or kind of winter season.
Right.
So I'm like the rest of us, or like the rest of you all, my listening audience, and I'm quite sure yourself will. Where's spring?
Exactly.
Now that's also another question I forgot to ask you. When do food trucks start back up?
I would say April.
Okay. Spring.
April, May. Just
Okay.
depends on the weather,
Yes.
obviously. If you get started in March, and the weather's cooperative,
Okay.
you can have a really good season because a lot of trucks may not
Earlier.
start. Yeah, exactly. Till late May or even April, or late April, even May.
Oh,
So,
see, that's good to know. And that was one of the questions that I did want to bring up while we were talking about your food truck specifically, because, again, we're in the winter and we're like, man.
not this year, I don't think.
What?
Winter.
Well, I
We've
guess.
had a mild winter this year.
See, you have to understand, I'm from Los Angeles originally.
Oh, okay. Well, then the difference.
This is
yes.
winter all over the place for me. I don't care how
Very
wet,
true.
cold, or whatever. It's winter.
Anyway, back to the food truck.
Yes. The first one that I want to talk. Well, again, there's a list of 5. The first one is Soul to Go, and it says that it's a pop-up food truck, or a soul food truck. It's run by Keisha Dent and her mom, Arlen Davis. They're offering mac and cheese and empanadas. There's a Sunday plate that they're also talking about, which includes smothered chicken, mashed potatoes, cabbage, cornbread, muffin, mac and cheese. Good Lord.
That sounds good.
Right. And then a guava dipping sauce, all on one plate. Okay, sold to go. Y'all need to make sure you come over and say please. But if anything, I know that I'm going to be searching you out. I'm quite sure that all of these places that I'm going to be talking about, everyone's going to want to be searching them out and, joining the whole food truck we're gonna start calling ourselves Food Truck Nation over here, because literally Minneapolis, I mean, it's like the parade of food trucks.
Yeah, you go down, they're lined up street after street after street.
Exactly. And you know, I love the way that food trucks look and so forth, because it's like these different diverse cultures and types of foods, and you know, some are vegan, some are, you know, meat only, you know, some are specifically for, like in this case, soul food, or others are for empanadas or Mexican or Cuban or Jamaican. I'm like, dang, really, Food Truck Nation up here.
Absolutely.
So Soul to Go, you could definitely check them out on Facebook. They have a Facebook account, which is 612 Soul to Go. Please make sure you go and check them out. I know that I will. The next one I want to talk about is Cajun Twist. This one here, it's, and like it says, it's going to be Cajun food. And do you like Cajun food?
Yes, absolutely. My Cajun to Go.
Okay.
Chef Tim, one of the food trucks.
I don't think I've met him.
He has a
or
store
to the food truck. Sorry.
In I think it's Lexington Circle Pines.
Okay.
The name escapes me at the moment, but the truck is Cajun to Go. That was one of my first introductions.
Okay. But
this Cajun Twist sounds very good too.
Right, exactly.
And Catfish.
Yeah. No one could tell me to stay away from a food truck that has catfish. I'm not sure what, and I'm going to pronounce this incorrectly, mufaletas?
It's a sandwich.
Yeah, okay. Do you know what's in it?
So it's got a Chardonnay with usually olives and different, you know.
Yes.
Yeah. So
I know exactly
vegetables, and it's usually a pressed sandwich.
Understood. And I have seen it. That's what it is.
And
okay.
The bread, I think, is one of the big things, making sure you have the right bread, because it's that round, almost like a focaccia type bread.
Okay.
But it's not.
This man knows his food.
I try.
But Cajun Twist, they claim to have the best gumbo in town, and they're going to be serving it with red beans and rice, mufaletas, and a family style or family recipe of pecan candy. And
that sounds very good too.
What is pecan candy?
One I don't know, but it sounds good.
I'm expecting him to know.
Sorry. But I let you down this time. I apologize.
But then also, of course, as they say, the ever elusive fried catfish. I know I've talked to friends and they're like, ugh, catfish. I'm like, what? Do you not know what you're missing when you're having catfish?
They haven't had the right catfish.
I guess not, because man, I'm telling you, with some hot sauce, a good seasoned or fried catfish, and with some hot sauce and maybe some coleslaw. You could kind of even leave out the coleslaw sometimes, but just the catfish alone by itself, it's just, man, it's delicious. It really is.
Since you brought up hot sauce, I have to do this to you.
Oh Lord! Oh dang! This man just loaded me up with some hot sauce. Thank you.
I've had that fermenting for about 2 months.
Oh my gosh.
Something I've been working on as a side project over the winter.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Man, dang. See, now I need to go home and cook some eggs or something, or just have go get some catfish. Dang, you should have given that to me at the end. Now I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to go.
Anticipation.
Oh man. So back to Cajun Twist. See, you got me all flustered now. Dang, see, it's sitting right here. I tell you, if we weren't in the booth just handling business right now, I would probably be on Facebook Live and showing you all this red deliciousness with all these seasonings and everything, and watching it move. Never mind. I'm gonna put it down. Cajun Twist. You can contact Cajun Twist at eatcajuntwist.com. And it said that they used to be available as a pop-up only on Wednesdays. They used to call themselves hump days, but they are going to be more readily available. So again, another one that we're actually going to be looking forward to. And oh wait, they also mentioned that they're going to have hush puppies on the food truck as well. So spring can't get here fast enough. Telling you, people. The next one is Full Belly Happy Heart. This is a husband and wife team, and they're going to be specializing in tostadas.
I like this idea because no one else has done this.
Interesting enough. Yeah, exactly. And like you said, no one's really specializing in tostadas. So here we have one, Full Belly Happy Heart. And they're saying that it's not your average tostada. They're going to be offering a wide variety of items on really only 4, but still it's going to be what they said, potato instead of corn as the base, and then favorites like tinga and avocado tomatillo.
Yum.
I love tinga.
I do too.
I wonder if they're going to be offering like staples like carnitas or maybe just standard beef or something like that. I mean, if they're offering tinga and avocado tomatillos, I would assume that they're going to probably offer some type of meat.
I would think they'll go a little off than just the staples.
Exactly.
I would love to see El Pastor. It's one of my favorites.
Just see there. Well, I'm gonna get off topic a little bit. There's a place over by where I live, and it's called Quiques.
Okay.
Las Quiques, I think it's a market, but they offer some really great food. I mean, Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays they cook like carnitas. I think it's beef, and then they do some tamales. Now I could be wrong. They might be out of season for the tamales or whatnot, but definitely Friday, Saturday, and possibly Sunday they have those carnitas. But their meat section or department,
sure,
the El Pastor. So that you could go there and get it yourself to cook.
Nice, very nice.
So, and I'm like, I love the fact that it's close to me. I mean, I know that still I could go on Cesar Chavez, a little bit further here in St. Paul and so forth, but it's so close.
Burrito Mercado.
Yeah, yes, exactly. So, okay, so Full Belly Happy Heart, Full Belly Happy Heart, mnminnesota.com. If you're interested and you want to follow them, make sure you do, because tostadas, come on now, who does not want to have something that you could hold in your hand and just bite down and taste all those different layers and textures and so forth and know that it's going to be deliciously good?
Absolutely.
Right. Okay, now Jamaica, or it's called Wa Jamaican. I had to say it like that. Wa Jamaican. And they are a 30-foot trailer is what they're going to have. It's converted into a food truck.
It's an Airstream, really.
Yes. Is there a difference or
the sleek silver?
Okay.
Gorgeous trailer. That's your Airstream.
Okay. They are going to be offering. Well, they said that they want them to think you. They want you to think of them as a party,
yeah,
with the DJ included.
You got it.
So, can you imagine? I'm like, this was. I don't think there really. Yes, there's West Indian soul food. I love them. Really good. Do. Very, very good. Their meat pies, their food, and everything is really great. Yes. Jamaican though, more. There's still you can't really compare the two because there are different type of spices or tastes.
It would be like grapefruits and oranges.
There's still citrus, right, both, but they have different flavors.
Exactly.
And, flavor notes and so forth. I'm no real foodie and expert, not like that, but foodie enough that I could enjoy these good foods and still bring them to you. But for this, they are also going to be coming out in Wa Jamaican is going to be out in spring. And they are going to have, right now they're popping up with, catered jerk chicken, but they're going to also have oxtails. Have you had oxtails before?
I haven't had oxtail.
What, man?
I'm sorry.
Man.
You'd think I would have it.
I'm going to go in my Caribbean voice. What? Man, you have no oxtail? You have not had oxtail before? What's wrong with you, man? No.
You'd think I'd even had it in chef school, but we didn't.
Oh, my goodness. I tell you, there's just something about having oxtail and understanding the deliciousness and sitting around. I think I was talking about my nephew came into town a couple of weeks ago, and we went to Pimento Jamaican Kitchen.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you've been there before, and I always seem to
might have had one of their pop-ups.
Okay. And I have to have it because they do it so well. I know that there's one other place that does it well, and that's Marla's, but I love Jamaican. I mean, I love Pimento Jamaican Kitchen, the way that they prepare it. That's at home. You are not truly enjoying the oxtail if you do not really clean the bone. I mean, seriously, cleaning the meat off the bone. Really. Anyway, I'm looking forward to what Jamaican, because not only are they going to have that, but the oxtail is, and I'm going to say it the way that I am used to hearing my parents say it, which is escabeche.
Okay.
And it's fish. It's a traditional fried fish recipe with lots of chili. And then maybe I have had it and I'm not aware, but Jamaican is going to be offering callaloo and then aki with saltfish and a few other Jamaican treats as well. If you're, again, interested in following Wa Jamaican, definitely go on their Facebook page, which is, and I'm just going to say it again the way that it is, Wa Jamaican LLC, and that's WHA Jamaican LLC. Just so that you all know that I'm not just kind of like cutting off words. It really is. It's Wa Jamaican. The last one. This has been really fun, just to know that we're here talking about food trucks, and I have a food truck guy here, so thank you again, Will.
Glad to be here.
Top Dog. We know that
we lost Prairie Dog.
I know, and I have not had the opportunity to have any of the Prairie Dog hot dogs.
I missed it too. I was so sad to see them go.
So hopefully I will make it a point to, go to Top Dog. Top Dog is not going to be really, doing all the fanciful type of hot dogs. They're going to just concentrate on, as they say, the classics. A Polish dog, a good old-fashioned Chicago dog. I'm sorry, I'm not even from Chicago, but every time I go there or any place that, even when we're like
good Chicago dog
man,
is tough to find.
It's very difficult. I think when I went to Chicago, I was like, I'm sorry, the first thing that I have to have is a Chicago dog. I don't care what time of the day it is.
That's right.
I'm serious. I mean, I was just, I think the people that I was asking, it's like, sir, it's not even 10 o'clock yet. I'm like, but I need to find one. I'm quite sure I could have found one, but anyway. Mm-hmm. Like I said, Top Dog, they're going to be concentrating on just these classics. And, right now they've got about 6 hot dog carts, as they stated, scattered throughout Minneapolis as well as St. Paul. I haven't seen them in St. Paul, so maybe I just haven't been looking hard enough. But I will be looking harder now.
And I like that they were able to work with the legislature and because the carts have a little bit of different rules than the trucks do. And it can be tougher for them. One of Nathan Beck with Nate Dogg.
Oh, okay.
I went to high school with him.
Nice.
And he's run into that difficulty in Minneapolis as well.
Okay.
So I'm glad that they were able to get some changes done so they can be open later and be available later. Exactly,
and that was the point that I was going to actually bring out too. So it's funny that I'm coming from a town, Los Angeles, that you could go to a food truck at 12, 1 o'clock, almost 2 o'clock at night, or in the morning.
Truck, they're there.
Exactly. And especially when you are, I'm just going to say it, if you're coming out from having an adult evening at an establishment, you were having fun. and you might be a little bit dehydrated because of maybe some type of beverage that you may have been ingesting.
You
But
might have had a little enjoyment, but the food isn't always there.
no, exactly. It's like you're in that place, and it's like all they want to serve you is some alcoholic something. not a bad thing.
Right, that's bad.
That's not bad. But then come on, you come out and you're like, dang, I'm hungry. We have to drive somewhere to go get something. It's like not when a food truck is 50 feet away from you or something. It's perfect.
And a hot dog is great.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you, and you probably have, if you've listened to the show, you know that I used to live in Mexico for 2.5 years at one point. And coming out of the adult establishment of a bar and having, a cocktail or two, I'm telling you, man, a hot dog cart, and it's almost like they know when to start cooking it, because that's when, and I'm not even talking about, when all the bars are closing or something like that, because honestly in TJ, bars really don't close until like 5:00 a.m. the next day.
Right.
But it's like it's almost like they know when a wave of people are coming out, because all of a sudden when you get out there, you hear the fry of grilled onions, or you smell that hot dog.
The aroma catches you.
My goodness. And please don't let it be a hot dog with bacon on it. Lord, I will have 4. And then we'll feel like, okay, we could start the day all over again now. So I don't know if there's anyone in the city that is doing hot dogs with bacon and maybe some grilled onions on top. Please, if you are, please contact me, because I will give you a lot of business, and I will make sure that.
Have you had the onion or the bacon jam from Nate Dogs?
No.
Yeah, he does I don't know if he has it all the time.
Okay.
But he has a bacon jam he serves with his hot dogs, which has onions, I believe, and bacon all in it.
This is what happens when you don't really get out as much. It's like, okay, can I quit my secular job and just work full time as being the Un-Bougie foodie in my life? I don't know. My secular job, they probably were like, no, don't do it. They keep telling me no. I would love to get in contact with Nate Dogg and find out where he is. That's something I want to ask. Sorry if I'm jumping around or whatnot. How do you keep up with food trucks? I mean, is it all kind of like a thing where the food trucks are only going to be on Twitter and kind of like say, hey, this is where I'm going to be today? Or a lot of
them, that's how they announce where they'll be at the day.
Okay.
But I can't remember who has the map. TC Street Foods on Twitter.
Okay.
They try to post a map every weekday of both Minneapolis and St. Paul, and they are already following a lot of the food trucks themselves. Okay. Through Twitter, and so they'll put on the map where the trucks have announced they're going to be for the day. Okay. And you can click on the link, and it'll show you, where on the street corner where they're going to be at, and their name, and maybe even a link to their Twitter account.
Oh man, see, that's perfect. And I asked that question because I've seen that in just going. Even I remember doing the food truck for Maplewood, covering that. I remember seeing something similar to that, and then of course each of the food trucks have their own Twitter handles and so forth. Mm-hmm. But I'm just thinking, well, others that are my listeners or listeners that are know you from your from Grillworks Food Truck are probably wondering, well, all these other places that we're talking about, well, how can we find out where they are, where they're going to be, and everything? So thank you for making sure that we know about that as well. Gosh, okay, so those were the 5. I know that the time just seems to like go so quickly and everything, but there is one other thing that I kind of wanted to talk about, which was, I don't know how familiar. Are you familiar with what is the word? And I've forgotten it. It's called Pha Khao. Pha Khao is what it's called. And Pha Khao is, I'm gonna spell it, and I probably have said it wrong, but maybe because I was there. I was at an event, this past Thursday,
Okay.
and it's for Laotian food.
Okay.
Have you had any type of?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so I'm not going to say that it is similar to Thai food because although it is Asian, it is not.
It's got its own.
It has got its own. And I'm only mentioning it right now. I'm not going to go into very much detail too much about it because I went to this event, took a few pictures, and I really want to share with you all about the event in much more detail. I will have please make sure that you are following me for next week because again at 10 a.m. on Saturday, because I'm going to talk about and I want to say Pha Khao. Maybe that is the way to say it, but the way that they pronounced it while I was there, it was different. So anyway, it's talking about Lao Pop-Up and the delicious food that they were offering. And like we just mentioned, although it is Asian, it is very different from that of Thai food.
It's a good way to expand your horizon.
Yes, and it was a truly amazing event. The organizer or manager of the event was her name was Christy, but also she is from the She List, but she will. It was just perfect for them to, have that, to have it, the way that they did the decorations, the preparation of each Pha Khao, and I feel like I'm doing it injustice by saying that word, and it's probably wrong.
I know how you feel.
Oh my goodness. Because they said it one way, and then when you're reading it a certain way, I want to say it's pronounced it's spelled PHA space KHAO. So I want to say Pha Khao, but it was pronounced Pha Khao when I was there. So I don't know if the H is silent in the first word. Anyway, the Pha Khao itself it's a small table. And really, the table itself is referred to as a katuk, Katoke, two separate words, katuk. Okay. That is the actual table. It then becomes a Pha Khao when food is actually placed on it. And so that's just a little bit of background. I don't want to go too much into it because the menu was just so amazing. There were like 4 different courses that we had, but next week I will talk about it and the different flavors and the tastes and how different it was from Thai food. And that was one of the things that they mentioned too, that many times it may be confused with Thai food, but that's not the case because of, I'm sorry.
Just seeing what you've got here, it looks incredible.
Right. I mean, and the food was just, it took me on levels that I've never tasted this before. Now, mind you, yes, it did have some spice. So I don't know if anybody understands about me and spice. I love it, but man, I'm telling you, it was kind of like being on a little bit nuclear. That's fine though. That's fine because there are other places that I've gone to and I have truly enjoyed myself being in that spice heaven. But next week, please make sure that you're following along because we are going to be covering that. I will have my return guest. Her name is Shannon Tui. Shannon, shout out to you, my love. I can't wait for you to be here so that we could talk about this. Please make sure, everyone, that you are joining us next week on the Un-Bougie Foodie. Again, at 10 a.m. On Saturday. Always every weekend on Saturday at 10 a.m. on WEQY. Know that you can stream these shows live by downloading the TuneIn app. Again, that's TuneIn, TUNEIN app. You could either do it on any of your mobile devices. You could do it on your laptop or computer at home. So feel free to follow along. Again, you'll find out new restaurants, new places that you can enjoy, new food trucks such as
Grillworks truck.
Yay! That's going to be coming, and that will be here, and we are looking forward to in the spring, along with all those others that we've discussed. I know that I am going to do a whole lot more research because June, you said you're going to be there.
Yes.
Okay.
Maya and I will both be at the Life and Diversity event in June in Mounds Park.
Okay,
That's
cool.
June 10th. You can find out more about that event on Facebook. They've got a very nice page about everything that'll be happening, so you can find out even more than the food. All the cultural events that'll be happening then, too.
Understood. For Uptown, do you think you're going to be at Uptown, or you're working on that?
I'm
or something?
working on that. I'm waiting to see what the Minnesota Food Truck Festival, the events they're going to put out for the festivals they're organizing this year. So I want to make sure I'm at the right events for us.
Okay, and that's as you should. As you should. Again, I want to thank you so much for being here. If there's anything closing that you want to mention.
Well, I want to say thank you for letting me be here.
Of course, please. It's my pleasure.
The other thing that you didn't get a chance to mention was if you did want to catch up on any of the missed episodes of the Un-Bougie, SoundCloud is a great place to do that.
He's my hype man right now. I was getting to it. But yes, he's very correct about that. You can check me out on SoundCloud, any of my past, and I will certainly make sure that this show itself will be on SoundCloud. Normally that happens in about a day or a couple of hours. No, I won't say a couple of hours. Not a couple of hours. Like the next day. We'll say that. That's more accurate. But yes, you can actually hear the Un-Bougie Foodie again. These shows on SoundCloud, and simply look for the Un-Bougie Foodie. They are available and ready for you to listen to at your convenience. Know that there is also going to be opportunities for you to have a RSS feed, or follow my podcast through the Stitcher and a few other social medias that I'm currently working on. But as I come to the end of the show, I just want to again thank you so much for being here. I'm looking at this hot sauce right now, just so y'all know. You're gonna have to probably share with other people. Maybe. No. I'm just saying. And then he brings out another bottle.
I only packaged up 12 last night. I've got
oh my goodness! Don't give away all your. Going. Oh my goodness!
I've got 2 more batches going, so I'm okay.
Okay.
So this is something. You'll have to give me your feedback on it.
Oh man.
I've got some pretty positive reviews from folks, but it's something I want to have on the truck too. It's Chili's Aura. I love Chili's. I lived in Arizona for a year.
Okay.
So I do love that. That's why we use the Outlaw was a shout out to my Arizona days.
Cool.
So.
Oh man. See now you. I'm going to take this right now so that he doesn't take it back.
I only have 2. I won't bring out another.
Okay, good. No. Thank you again, Will, so much for being here. I really do appreciate it, and us learning more about Grillworks food truck. Before we go, I noticed what's this on your shirt?
Okay, so we've got a picture of a cow and all the different wonderful cuts you can get out of a cow. This is a quote. I want to say it's from Craig Ferguson, and it says, "Thank you for your tasty cows. Thank you for your tastiness." And it's got our logo on the back grill. This will be the shirt we'll be wearing when we're on the truck.
Cool. I need a leg. I need a forerib. I need a neck. No, I'm kidding. Oh man, this has been a wonderful time. As always. Thank you again for being here and being a guest host. I really do appreciate your taking the time to be here with us. And thank you all out there, listeners of WEQY and fans of the Un-Bougie Foodie. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Please make sure that you listen to us next week again at 10 a.m. on Saturday. Again, only on WEQY 104.7, the voice of the East Side. As always, as I end my show, I want to remind everyone, please never let anyone tell you what type of foodie to be, but because really it is all about the food.